All right, thanks for joining us, everybody, this morning. We'll go ahead and get started with Coach Traylor. Just use the raise hand function and wait for me to call on you for questions. JJ?
What did you see on film after watching this last game?
Um, I thought Texas State definitely outplayed us. They were more physical. They broke a lot of tackles. Defensively, we just did not play where I thought we were going to. I thought our defense would keep us at the ball game long enough. We knew we were going to struggle offensively a little bit. Um, and like just you go back and you start recapping the whole game. Uh, the D turned it over early for us, so we got it. Had a good run. Took a shot on second down, and they had a better call than we did. We tried to hide the tight end out and stick him down the sideline, and they brought field pressure and rotated this thing weak, and we checked it down. And now you're looking at third and 8, and not executing that slant was disappointing. And then they did a great job going cover zero on fourth down, and we didn't break the tackle. And the call was probably a call we'd like to have back. We'd like to have a deeper call on that, obviously. They go down, score 7-0, have a great drive right down the field, and jump off sides on his third and short where we're running the ball very well. And now it's third and 8, and we don't hit the tight end, which they covered it well, but we had a good play call there. So now it's 7-3. You look up, it's 14-3. And then you look up, it's 21-3. I mean, it got away from us, and I really thought our defense would carry us until we kind of figured it out, and it didn't happen.
Jeff, what was your message to the team when you guys gathered yesterday, and then how did they receive that?
Yeah, they're awesome. I mean, I know I told you after the game, you know a lot about your team when you play big games. Obviously, what we found out about ourselves during the game, we did not like. But we found out a lot about ourselves after the game as well. I mean, when every kid naturally goes against the grain and goes the other direction to do the school song, it's pretty impressive. For the culture of our team, every kid was on time yesterday. Every kid had their notebook. Every kid taking notes. Nobody missed anything, and all those are great signs that our kids are going to get better.
Jeff, along those same lines, you've mentioned that there have been times previously where you guys have kind of weathered the storm and come out of it on the other side. Is there any scenario from your time here that you would compare this to, or that you kind of draw on as you guys work through this moment now?
I think it would be most resemblance of when we first got here in 20. FAU, we just did not do anything offensively, but our defense was really good that day. But we still, if you remember that game, we lost 20-3, but we didn't do anything the whole day offensively. And we bounced back, and we won the next week. And then I'd say North Texas in 22, that was pretty crushing. Bounced back and, beat Western Kentucky. And then I'd say Tennessee in 23 was pretty crushing. I mean, that was they kicked our tails. Bounced back the next week and beat Temple. Here's the biggest difference. Yes, we have had our teeth kicked in before. I'd say this is the fourth time, honestly. But we didn't have the University of Texas waiting on us, the number 2 team in the country and arguably the best team in the country and the loudest place you can play, arguably, in the country.
Speaking along those lines about Texas, you guys did play there 2 years ago, so you kind of had a little bit of experience of the stadium there. But what are your thoughts on this game this week against them?
Oh, the biggest difference is we were a veteran team back then, and they were kind of in transition a little bit. Now they're very veteran, and we're kind of in transition right now. So that's the biggest difference. We always mark how many really great players they have in their 2 deep, and usually each team has 3 to 6. They're really great. These guys have backups that are really great. Like the whole sheet's marked with great players. They've done a fantastic job in the transfer portal, developing their kids, developing their roster. They're massive. They're extremely fast. It's the best team we've ever played since we've been here.
Jeff, GJ Kinney mentioned after the game that they held some things back in the opener and maybe didn't want to show everything before your guys' matchup. How different was the team that you guys played from the one that you studied on film against Lamar?
Well, we knew that there was going to be a lot more than they showed against Lamar. So we anticipated that. But they did a great job. They did. They did a really good job. So um, they outplayed us. They outcoached us. They physically whipped us, and they deserved to win the ball game.
It was interesting to hear him talk after the game about the extent to which they focused on this matchup through the offseason, and he mentioned even a lot of the roster and transfer decisions were made with the question of how does this help us beat UTSA? What's your reaction to the level of emphasis it sounds like that they put on this matchup heading into it?
I think it's what you're capable of doing when you've got that many players that are returning, and you add in some really good transfer pieces, which they did. They did a great job. There's no doubt about that.
Kind of along those same lines from your side, is there anything with this rivalry on the schedule for the foreseeable future that you have to do or might approach differently just to be prepared for this matchup in particular, or do you kind of not think about roster construction and things like that in those terms?
Oh, you're trying to win, no matter what you do. So roster construction for just one game, no, we will not have a roster construction for just one game.
Jeff, what's the message to the team, I guess, now that it's unlikely the CFP is an option? Like, how do you reset goals, or you just focus on, the conference? Like, what's the message there?
Yeah, when you play that poorly, there is no discussion. You don't deserve to be in that conversation. We got to play better. That's the only way you get in those conversations. So we got to fix us.
Jeff, what stood out about Owen McCown's play as you looked back at his performance on film in particular?
We got to help both those quarterbacks more. I mean, both those kids are good quarterbacks. We got to help them better. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to protect them better. And when they throw it out there, you got to catch it. I mean, you got to have that catch coming out of your own end zone. It's just a play that's got to be made. And you got to have a catch on the glance route in the end zone. Those are catches that have to be made. This is a team game. And we're not doing enough to protect them. We're not running the ball very efficiently, and we're not catching it when they throw it. We just didn't play well, and we got to help both those kids.
For young quarterbacks, when you are in an environment like that and some of those things aren't clicking around you, how did you rate for each of them how they handled that mental part of it, or sort of weathered the storm in the moment?
Oh, it's a great learning experience for both those young men. That's just the only way you can get that is by going out there and doing it. So they'll both be better for it.
Is Owen still the starter heading into this weekend, or is that kind of an open question? How do you approach that?
No, Owen will be the starter Saturday.
Jeff, how would you just assess Eddie's play specifically in that second half?
He did some good things as well. He got some great experience by going out there and learned some things, and that's how you get better, by going out there playing. And both those guys got some great experience in the game.
What does Owen need to do to take the next step? Is that just more game reps, or a lot of expectations on him because he's started so quickly here, but he hasn't had a lot of time in the system? Does he need more game time?
Well, but he has a new center. He has a new left tackle. He has a new right tackle. He has two new receivers. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts going on right now that we're all trying to get acclimated to against a team that had 18 starters returning, the Sun Belt Player of the Year added to their roster, an unbelievable home field advantage, and our defense didn't keep us in the game long enough to make it competitive, to be very honest.
Jeff, how'd you evaluate the offensive line play as you were able to go back and review it on film?
There's a lot of things we got to get better at. There's no doubt, but we did not play very well up front.
I know it was Mekhi Hart's first action of the year. What did you see from him kind of getting back into the swing of things?
The goal was to get him about 10 snaps, and the 10 he was out there, we drove, I think, 75 yards and got a field goal. If we hadn't jumped off sides, we'd have probably got a touchdown. So I'd say if we can get him up to 20 snaps, next week, and maybe 30 snaps the next week. You hope he'd be good to go versus East Carolina.
Did you get a sense of physically how he felt coming away from it? I don't know if you got the trainer's report yet, but did he hold up well to that opportunity?
Yeah, he's just tired. I mean, he hadn't played in 2 years, so playing the game's different than practice. So he just got cleared to practice here, recently. So he gave me all he had. He was hot and tired, but kid's a champion. He's a 2-time all-conference player and, won championships here, and nobody's rooting harder for Makai than I am.
How do you balance the possibility of making changes at that position and who starts and who goes in what spots versus just allowing that group more time to gel?
There's never anything like that. Whoever the best players are play. Obviously, to your point, you'd like for those guys to play together more, but you got to look out for the safety of the kid. And also, Big Jay's got to keep getting better. I mean, Jay's got to continue to play. Jay hadn't played very much in his career either, so he's got to get better.
JJ?
Jeff, what happened to Bentley and what's his status this week?
He got injured. He played injured against Kennesaw, and we just didn't think for the long haul it was smart to put him out there right now until he gets 100%. And I'd say he'll be a game time decision, as will Amador, as will Danye Taylor.
Saw JT warming up pretty aggressively this week. Is he getting closer? What's his status?
He's very excited in his mind. I mean, he did look really good in pregame. He feels like he's ready to go. Our training staff is he'll start practicing this week, and we'll see what that looks like.
If there was a decent amount of criticism towards some of the offensive play calling coming away from this game, how did you feel about just the game that you guys put together in that sense from a game plan perspective and the situations that you put your guys in?
Yeah, you always wish you could do better. When you don't score points, man, it's you're going to always look at the play calling and the execution of the play. And there are plays we wish we had back. They had better play calls than we did on some of ours. And obviously, it's a situation you're always looking at and evaluating. Nobody feels worse than Justin Burke and the offensive staff right now.
What are the emotions like for you guys of getting ready to go up against Trey Moore again?
We've got a lot of things on our mind right now. We got to get some stuff fixed, but we have a lot of respect for Trey. Obviously, we know him very well. A single-digit guy for us. Helped with us to championships, and we know he'll play great Saturday. We miss Trey and his family.
I don't know how closely you've studied him in particular on film yet, but is there anything you noticed different just from last year as he's developed and things that he's grown in?
Natural growth. I mean, he's bigger. He's still powerful. He's still quick. He's still got all of his moves on the edge. Very smart player, very disciplined football player. Really proud of Trey. Happy for him.
Does it become a point of motivation for your guys to want to perform well against an old team? Factor in it all this weekend?
No, our kids all know Trey and love Trey, and we're just preparing for the Longhorns and getting UTSA better right now.
Jeff, what is a successful game this week look like for the Roadrunners? Like, what makes Jeff Traylor happy coming out of this week, this Saturday?
Well, defensively, we've got to play like we're capable of playing. And the results are not always what is the indicator of a great game or a bad game. And it's easier. That's the way I'm graded as a head coach. I understand that. It makes it very simple. But I was disappointed in just our intensity. We just didn't look like a team that was ready to play Saturday. And I don't know what that is. And we've got to get that figured out. Offensive line-wise, we've got to continue to get better. We've got to be able to run the ball better, protect our quarterback better. I need to get our receivers. We've got too much offense in right now. We're confused. I want that cleaned up. I got to get my freshman punter confident, punting into a wind. That we just, they did a great job when they had to go into the wind. They only completed 3 passes of more than 10 yards the whole day. They did a really good job of getting the ball out quick to their athletes, and we couldn't tackle them very well. And we got to help our punter there. I mean, he punted really good. I was on end zone. I mean, your first punt in a rivalry game, and you're in the student section with your heels on the back, and he nailed it. But then when he had to go into the wind, he really struggled. So I want to get that kid some confidence.
mentioned you have too much offense in. Is it a matter of kind of simplifying what you guys are doing or changing the scheme? What do you do there?
Yeah, there's no changing scheme. I mean, we're going to run inside zone. We're going to run counter. We're going to run outside zone. We're going to run insert zone. We've got the same run plays that we've been running here as long as we've been here, and we've got to get better at executing them. We did spit the ball out better and blocked on the perimeter better. When we dropped back to pass, we protected the quarterback better. We really did. We just didn't throw and catch real well, and the game got away from us. So you had to get away from your game plan pretty quickly, because when you're down 28-3, it's just hard to, run the ball and be patient and try to come back and win. So that was tough that the game got away from us so quickly.
Jeff, you just mentioned that it seemed like the guys weren't ready to play. I know even in some of the tougher games you've had here, it's felt like 99 times out of 100, you've been praising the team for sort of embodying the culture and the triangle and things like that. Is this the first time you felt this kind of way coming away from a game, or is there something you could compare it to?
North Texas, that'd be the closest thing I could compare it to right now. We've got a lot of new on this team, and it's my job to fix that. But it's the first time we've had this many new guys together on the road and just got punched in the mouth. And it's good for us to figure this stuff out. And when you have a team that's in transition, we've been here 5 years, man. It's a natural progression. You're not going to have your whole team back very often anymore. Now, it's similar. I've given the analogy of my second year here because of COVID. The whole team was back. And GJ took a bunch of those transfers his very first year, and naturally they all came back after a successful year. And where us, we graduated a lot of guys on NFL rosters right now, a really good quarterback, 3 really good O-linemen. I know y'all are all thinking, man, you're making a bunch of excuses. It's just what it is. And if we could have held in there early, I think we could have given them something there late. But we just got smoked too early, got hit in the mouth early, and did not handle it very well.
Morning, Coach Traylor. You had just mentioned about this team being in transition and how Texas is more established right now. Given y'all's first visit up there, what's going to be the difference in the messaging in that team that you took down there a couple of years ago and this one that you're taking into Austin this next weekend?
Well, we knew who we were then as an offense, as a defense. You just know who you are. Right now, we're still trying to figure out who we are defensively, who we are offensively, and where we are special teams wise. Now, I know y'all are probably thinking, what do you mean who we are? Well, there's just certain ways you play and call a game according to the talent and how they're playing. And we're still trying to figure out exactly what our identity is on all 3 parts of the ball right now. Or that was different the last time we went there. We knew who we were.
The fan reaction to this loss at Texas State has been visceral. What's your reaction to? I know you probably haven't seen most of it, but what's your reaction to some of the negativity?
We got beat 49-10. I don't blame them at all.
Brandon?
The reaction to this game, you said, the players going back and singing the school song and everything like that. Do you think you have a better basis for this team to rebound to past losses that may not have gone the team's way?
I was surprised that we handled it that well with this many new players. I was very proud of them for it and really bragged on them about it. And they all were in meetings yesterday. I've been on teams before, man. You lose a game that's that big of a game, that badly, things can get south pretty quickly. And was really proud of the maturity of our team. That's why we have a chance to continue to get better each week and have a chance to still have a very good season.
Anything else for Coach Traylor this morning?
Thank y'all, man. Sorry. God bless. Birds up.
Jeff,